Hello, long time no see. I have been sick for the past 3 weeks, and I'm still, you can probably hear in my voice, I'm still not 100% better yet, but I feel okay to be on camera now, so I'm back, hopefully, and I'm going to be bulk filming just now, so hopefully you'll get quite a few videos from me in a row. Hopefully I won't go MIA again. This video, as you can tell from the title, is a little bit of a book haul. Yesterday, Abby from the channel Abby Salter and I went to the book warehouse in Hemel Hempstead. It's called 66 Book Club, and once a month they are open to the public. I've been before, I've mentioned them before on this channel, but you basically get 70% off the list price of every single book that they have, and they have a lot of books, and I didn't buy very many the last time I went, which was also with Abby, but this time I've done a little bit more damage, so I thought I would share those books with you here. Very quickly, first of all, I did get a couple of recipe books that I won't spend a lot of time on. The first one is this book about macarons, even though it's called macaroons, which is wrong and is annoying, but basically I learned to make macarons over the winter break in December of 2021, and I just picked this up because it had some good flavour ideas in it, and I'm always looking for flavours to base my macaron on, so I picked that up. And then I also picked up this book of Japanese recipes. I actually already have this book, but my parents really like it, so I decided to pick one up for them. So those were just a couple of recipe books that I picked up, and the rest are all fiction. So I'm going to start off with The Blinding Knife by Brent Weeks. I haven't read The Black Prism yet, but I am hoping to read it soon, and these books are usually £11, so I decided that I would pick this up while I saw it because they didn't have very many copies, and I thought let me just pick it up while I can get it for cheap, just in case I like The Black Prism and want to continue with the series. At least then I've got the second book on hand for cheap, and I'm hoping to buddy read The Black Prism with a few people maybe this year at some point, so we'll see, but at least I've then got this one for nice and cheap, just in case I do decide to continue. Then I've got a couple of books that I have actually already read, but I didn't have physical copies of, and I figured I'd pick them up since they were so cheap. So we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. So I've read, as I mentioned, both of these already and really enjoyed them, so I figured I'd add them to my collection. Unfortunately, they didn't seem to have a copy or copies of Act Your Age Eve Brown, which is the one that I haven't read yet, but at least I've got these to add to my collection. These are usually £9 each, so I will have got them for £2.70 each, which just felt like a little bit of a no-brainer. And I should probably tell you how much I actually paid for this one, and it would have been £3.30. Next is Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Kwok. I'm not sure how to pronounce that surname, I'm really sorry. I am actually reading this right now on audio. I basically read everything on audio, but I decided since I saw it to pick it up. This one is a little bit bent at the back, but it was the only copy I saw, and it was £2.40, so no big deal. I have had this on my TBR since it came out towards the end of last year. It's about a girl at a high school, and she is on the student newspaper and she wants to become the editor, but she gets beaten out for editor by this male student, and she's raising the possibility of misogyny being a problem at their school. I am about, how far into this am I? About 30% of the way into this book, and I'm actually really enjoying it so far, so I'm probably going to finish that later today, and yeah, really glad I decided to pick this one up. Really enjoying it so far. The next one I picked up was Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. This one I picked up because I had literally, so we went yesterday, which was Saturday, and on Friday night I very nearly read this book. So it just felt like a very weird coincidence that I nearly read it, and then I saw it at this book warehouse the next day, when you can't really ever tell what you're going to find there. It just felt like too much of a coincidence to not pick it up, plus it was £3, so I'll probably read this very, very soon. I have the audio out from the library already because I figured, well, clearly something is telling me to read this book, so I'm going to be reading this book. And my understanding is that it's a little bit of a sapphic enemies to lovers romance. So it sounds good. I'm looking forward to reading it, and as I say, I'll be reading it very, very soon. Next up, we have something that's a little bit different for me because it's slightly sort of historical fantasy, and that is The Ghost Bride by Yangtze Chu. This book Abby actually got the last time that we went to 66 Book Club, but they only had one copy. This time they had tons of copies, so I figured I would go ahead and pick it up. I will have paid... how much will I have paid for this? Doesn't actually have a price on it. I'm not sure. Probably a few pounds at most. So this book is part romance, part ghost story. Essentially, our protagonist, Li Lan, has to marry a dead man, so a ghost, and when she does so, she starts experiencing the afterlife and ghosts. I don't know too much about it. I don't kind of want to. I kind of want to see how this story manifests itself, but I've heard really good things about it. The writer is supposed to be amazing, so very much looking forward to picking this up at some point. Again, hopefully it won't take me too long to get there. And then finally we have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is one I've been contemplating reading for a while. Again, I decided to pick it up since it was so cheap. I mean, as you can see, it's a hardback, and I got it for basically £4. So that felt like a good reason to pick it up, the physical copy I mean, and I have been planning to read this for a while. I just need to pick my moment because it is a very dark story about a woman who is looking back at a relationship that she had with a teacher in her youth, and sort of at the time she thought it was a really romantic and wonderful relationship, but now looking back on it she realises that it was an abusive relationship that was between her and this teacher. So it's going to be a little bit of a difficult read, but one that I've been planning to pick up for quite a while, so I figured I might as well grab the hardback while it was cheap. And that is it. Those are the 9 books that I picked up yesterday. Altogether I spent £28 for those 9 books, so I feel like that is pretty good considering I could have spent that just on these 2 alone. So very happy with that, very happy with the books that I've picked up. Particularly glad that 2 of them I have already read, so they go straight on the read shelf rather than onto the TBR pile, but hopefully I'll get to the others fairly soon as well. And that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like this from me, then do think about hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks!